Night Beat.
Hi there. This is Randy Stone. I cover the Night Beat for the Daily. Stories start in many different ways. This one began with an open door and ended with a door that was closed.
Night Beat, starring Hop McGuire as Randy Stone. Before we begin tonight's story, here's your announcer.
I was late and I didn't feel like work. You get that way sometimes. I think most guys go a bit sour for different reasons. Maybe it's a girl, a hangover, or even a wife. It could be any reason, but there are times when everything seems cockeyed. I had a story of sorts. It was just a matter of pounding it out on the typewriter. I was on my way to the city room to do just that when the receptionist told me there was someone waiting to see me. A lady. It's funny how it always gives you a jolt when you know there's a lady waiting to see you. It could be news, or it could be... Well, that's how my mind was working when I walked into the waiting room. There was only one person in there. A little old lady, all in black. She stood up as I went in.
Oh, it's Mr. Stone, isn't it?
I'm Randy Stone.
I've been waiting quite a long time.
Well, I'm sorry. I was detained.
I know how busy you must be, but I'm sure you'll help me, Mr. Stone.
When people say that, it usually means a bite coming. I had a good look at her. No, she didn't look the type. One of those apple-cheeked old ladies, a sort of magazine cover type for someone's mother. She'd been wearing black gloves. Now one of them was off, and she was twisting and turning it like it was a dish rag she was wringing out. She was nervous, all right, and there were tears in her eyes.
I always read your column, Mr. Stone, and I know you're interested in people, little people without influence and powerful friends, people like me.
Maybe I am at that.
You are. I know you are. That's why I've come to you.
Well, suppose you tell me what's on your mind.
It's about my son, Pete. He was murdered.
Murdered? Oh, but lady, you've come to the wrong place. You want the police.
No. The police have finished with the case. They say it was an accident. The coroner said so, too. But they're wrong, and I know it.
Mrs. Collins, if the police and the coroner are satisfied, it was an accident. There's nothing more anyone can do. Why should you think he was murdered anyway?
Call it a mother's intuition. Oh, Mr. Stone, I know you think I'm foolish and that I'm wasting your time.
Look, Mrs. Collins, I'm wasting yours. Even if there was anything in your story, I couldn't help. I'm not a detective. I'm not a crime reporter.
Peter was my only boy. Straight, tall, clean, like his father. He was all I had. Pete in my memories. Now he's gone. Pushed or thrown down an elevator shaft.
Down an elevator shaft?
It was an automatic elevator. They said the door was out of order. That he opened it and stepped through, thinking the elevator was there.
Oh, that's tough.
He didn't. Pete was always so careful, so particular. Do you think he'd step through that doorway in broad daylight?
The police think so.
That's what they want to think. That's what Mr. Schultz wanted them to think.
Mr. Schultz?
He's a lawyer. Pete worked for him. He hated working there. But it was a job, and he needed it.
Why did he hate working there?
He told me he was going to leave as soon as he could. He suspected that Mr. Schultz was blackmailing some of his clients.
Did you tell that to the police?
Yes, but they didn't take it seriously. Mr. Schultz is a pretty important man.
A big shot, huh?
Yes, I would think so.
Do you think Schultz pushed your son down that elevator shaft?
I do. He's evil, that man. I know he killed Pete.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know why I'm asking you these questions. There's nothing I can do for you. You better try the police again.
You could write something in your column
Such as?
insisting that the police reopen the case. Say that it was murder.
And have my paper sued for damages? Then I'd be one of the unemployed.
Oh. Then you can't do anything.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Stone.
Oh, please, Mrs. Collins. If I could help, I would. But honestly, it's right out of my line.
I understand, Mr. Stone. I'm sorry to have wasted your time.
I'll think about it. If I come to see you, maybe it will help you if you can talk about Pete.
He never harmed anyone in his life. He was a good boy. Never gambled or drank. Didn't even smoke. Now he's gone.
Tell me where you live.
2028 West 75th Street.
Well, I'll think it over, and then maybe I'll come to see you.
Then you will help.
Well, I didn't say that, but I will talk to some of the police that I know.
Oh, Mr. Stone, how can I thank you?
Don't. I haven't promised anything.
Oh, I won't keep you anymore. But I know I'll see you soon, Mr. Stone.
That's what she thought. See you soon. I had a story to write, and I wanted to forget all about Mrs. Collins and her troubles. A mother's intuition. How do you like that? I went into the city room and pounded out my story, and then decided to go home and sleep and sleep. That's what I said to myself. That's what I meant to do. But somehow my feet wouldn't behave. They carried me into our morgue. That's what we call the room where we keep the files of old editions. Old Hank Bennett was drowsing over his files as usual.
Hi, Randy. What's on your mind?
Sorry to break in on your beauty sleep, Hank. I want to do some digging.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, dig me out the story of an inquest on a kid called Pete Collins. I want all details on the whole thing.
When was it?
I wouldn't know. Quite recently, I guess.
You guys are all the same. One file's maybe 20 years back and can't give me a clue.
This is not 20 years back, maybe not even 20 days. Look, don't you keep an index?
Sure, we're efficient here.
Then give me what I want and dry your eyes.
Take it easy, Randy. I won't keep you long.
I was a bit edgy, but then I was sore with myself. I could have been home pounding that pillow. There I was, sitting in a newspaper morgue reading about a case that didn't even interest me. Or did it? Maybe it did at that, because next morning found me on the 15th floor of the Century Building, walking into the offices of Lionel Schultz, attorney at law. And a swell suite of offices it was, too. And the babe who came to inquire my business, among other things, she wore a sweater. And her face, it had a certain hardness in those blue eyes. But you only noticed that later on. She was civil enough.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Schultz is pretty busy this morning. Have you an appointment?
No, but I think Mr. Schultz will see me all the same.
What name is it?
Stone, Randy Stone of the Daily.
Oh, the newspaper man.
You get top marks for a deduction, baby.
Right. Could you tell me why you want to see Mr. Schultz? If it's important, he may be able to fit you in.
Tell him it's about Pete Collins. As soon as I said that, there seemed to be a dead silence. That was because the other girl there suddenly stopped typing. I looked across. She wasn't in the beauty contest class, quite the reverse. Just a plain, dumpy youngster with big, frightened eyes. The sweater girl broke the silence.
Get on with your work, Doreen.
Suppose you take my message in to Mr. Schultz.
Yes, Mr. Stone. Please take a seat. I won't keep you a moment.
Hi. Doreen,
Yes, sir.
what scared you when I mentioned Pete Collins' name?
He used to work here. He was killed.
Keep on pounding that typewriter. Was it an accident, Doreen?
I don't know. I can't talk now. She'll be back.
There's a coffee shop on the corner, just on the left. You know it?
Kaufman's?
Yeah. What time do you lunch?
1 o'clock?
That's when I'll meet you at Kaufman's. Look out.
Mr. Schultz will spare you a few minutes now, Mr. Stone, between appointments.
This must be my lucky day.
Will you come in?
Thanks. She closed the door behind me, and I found myself facing Lionel Schultz. He was a big guy in every way, broad and long, and he smoked big cigars. He smiled with his mouth, but his eyes bored into me. There was no welcome stranger sign about those eyes. I let Schultz speak first.
Will you sit down, Mr. Stone, and tell me what I can do for you?
Thanks.
I'm a very busy man, but when I heard you wanted to talk about poor Collins, I made time for you.
That was good of you, Mr. Schultz.
We thought the world of him here. That tragic accident was a great shock to all of us.
Sure, I suppose it was. According to your evidence in the coroner's court, you complained to the janitor the day before that the elevator door was out of order.
It had been out of order for some days. I had complained several times.
It's an automatic elevator. The door is not supposed to open unless the elevator is up at this floor.
That is so, and that was the fault in it. The door could be opened at this floor without the elevator being there.
So the fault lies with the carelessness of the janitor, who didn't have the necessary repairs made.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. He informed the elevator company, but they didn't send a mechanic. That was all stated at the inquest.
The door's all right now. I tried it myself this morning.
I should hope so. What is the purpose of these questions, Mr. Stone?
That was the $64 question. What was I aiming at? I wasn't sure myself. Still, I had to answer. Well, as you say, Mr. Schultz, it was a tragic accident. A promising young man like Collins crashing to his death. I'm interested in the human side of it. A story about the boy himself, his hopes, aspirations, what sort of work he did. I thought you could help me.
Oh, why, sure. Only too pleased to tell you all I can, Mr. Stone. He was a fine lad, Pete, a fine lad. I treated him more as a friend than an employee.
You were buddies?
Sure, buddies. That's what we were. Pete used to come to me for advice. On the very day that he died, he was sitting in that chair, Mr. Stone, smoking one of my cigars. He was telling me some personal problem, and I gave him a cigar just to put him at his ease. Oh, by the way, I have a cigar, Mr. Stone, of my own brand. I have them imported from the Argentine.
Thanks, I will.
I'd like your opinion of them. Well, now, where was I? Oh, yes, about your Pete. The youngster was like a son to me.
And so it went on. The more the guy drooled, the more certain I felt there was something screwy about the whole setup. I got away eventually. I didn't go back through the general office. Mr. Schultz had a private exit into the passage right opposite the elevator. He came out to see me off, showed me the fatal door, and by the time we parted, we were buddies, too. At 1 o'clock, I grabbed myself a table at Kaufman's coffee shop. A few minutes later, Doreen came in. The kid seemed scared. She looked around the shop, saw me, and came straight over.
Oh, Mr. Stone.
Oh, take it easy, kid. Now, what'll it be? Coffee? A hamburger?
No, I don't want anything. I want to tell you about Pete Collins.
Sure, you can tell me about that, too.
He was murdered, Mr. Stone. They killed him.
You are listening to Night Beat. Before Randy Stone continues his story, here's your announcer. This is Night Beat. Randy Stone continues his story.
That kid's words were blazing with intensity. I could see she'd been bottling up emotion for a long time, and I could also see that I'd blundered into something that was strictly off my usual beat. I was reaching the stage where I didn't care. I realized that a mother's intuition was paying off. Still, I didn't want to let all Kaufman's customers into the secret. Doreen was really letting herself go.
I know they did, Mr. Stone. And they'll kill me, too, if they get the chance. Poor Pete. He wasn't scared of them.
Why didn't you talk to the police about this?
I didn't dare. Ruth, Miss Marshall, that's Mr. Schultz's secretary.
The sweater girl?
Yes, I once took some money out of the petty cash, $20. They found out. Ruth Marshall said if I told the police anything about Pete Collins, they'd send me to jail for being a thief.
So you let them get away with murder?
Yes, but I didn't really know much.
Now tell me about it, and then maybe we'll go to the police.
On the day it happened, Pete had a big row with Mr. Schultz over a letter.
A letter?
It was out of the secret file. Ruth Marshall always handles that. But the letter got into Pete's lot by mistake. He read it, then he looked over at Ruth and said, "This is sheer blackmail."
Well, they seem to make a specialty of it, inside and outside the firm. Oh, go on.
Ruth rushed over to Pete's desk and tried to snatch the letter away, but Pete hung on to it. He said, "I've suspected something like this for a long time." Then he went into Mr. Schultz's office with the letter, and Ruth followed him.
Then I take it Schultz and Pete weren't exactly buddies.
Pete hated him. He needed the job to further his law studies. That was the only reason he stayed there.
I'd like a peek at that private file. Tell me more, Doreen.
A few minutes later, Pete came out of Schultz's office. He was very pale. He began to gather his things off his desk. Then he came over and told me he was leaving right away. He said something about a letter to Mr. John Bullivant. Just then, Ruth came out of Mr. Schultz's office and told Pete to go back there as Mr. Schultz wanted to pay him a week's salary. Pete went back, and that's the last time I ever saw him.
Did Ruth go back into the office with him?
No. She stood by her desk for a while. Then she moved over to see what I was doing. Just then we heard the scream. It was Pete as he was falling.
Oh, take it easy, kid.
I can still hear that scream.
What did you do?
For a moment, I stood not knowing what to do. Then I rushed out into the passage with Ruth. We saw the elevator door was open.
And where was Schultz?
He came out of his office a few seconds later while we were standing there.
Would he have had time to push Pete down that elevator shaft and get back to his office before you got there?
Oh, yes, quite easily. His door is right opposite the elevator. Our entrance is round the corner of the passage.
Well, I don't want to disappoint you, kid. What you've told me might be mighty suspicious, but there's no evidence of murder.
What about Ruth and Mr. Schultz threatening me not to tell the police about the quarrel?
Well, that's suspicious, too. Huh. Can you detect the fragrant odor of an Argentine cigar?
Mr. Schultz!
Sit down, Schultz. Join us in a cup of coffee?
Thank you, Mr. Stone. I've had lunch. I'd no idea you were friendly with Miss Lawson.
Miss Lawson? Oh, you mean Doreen. Well, she's been confiding in me. She's just like a daughter to me.
What do you mean by that crack?
Can I help it if I feel paternal? You've often felt the same way yourself. You told me.
I glanced in here as I was passing. I noticed Miss Lawson, and it occurred to me that I want a certain document typed in a hurry. I wondered if she'd be good enough to come back with me now.
Can't Ruth type the document?
She won't be back until later this afternoon.
Well, that's just too bad, because Doreen won't be back this afternoon.
Stone, you're crazy. This girl has her job to think about, her future. And as for you, Stone, your editor will hear about this, encouraging this girl to throw away her living.
I'm not encouraging her to throw away her life. Come on, Doreen.
You'll regret this, Stone.
We got into my car and drove away. On the way, I asked a few more questions. I was interested in this Bullivant who was mentioned in the letter. I found out he was an ex-senator who'd made a fortune in the stock exchange. Finally, we got to the precinct where I asked for Lieutenant Blomberg, a cop I knew quite well. I left Doreen in the waiting room while I talked to Blomberg.
I've just had a look through the file on Pete Collins. Our people were quite satisfied it was an accident.
Are you, after hearing everything I've told you?
Have you told me one single thing that'll make a murder charge stick? Against Schultz or the Marshall girl?
Their behavior is suspicious, to say the least.
Randy Stone. So what? If we were to arrest every person who acts suspiciously, we wouldn't fit them all in the Empire State Building.
Then you're not going to do anything? What about John Bullivant?
If they were blackmailing Bullivant, he's not likely to talk. He's paying for silence.
Can't you give this girl, Doreen Lawson, protection?
I'll hold that kid for 24 hours on suspected theft. That's all I can do. 24 hours.
That's all I want. That's the deadline. I'll be seeing you, Lieutenant.
Hey, wait a minute, Randy.
What now?
Don't go butting into police matters. You're a columnist, not a dick.
That's something to be thankful for. I know my job.
Wise guy, huh?
I left the lieutenant feeling that relations were somewhat strained. I didn't see Doreen. I thought I'd leave the police to do the explaining. 24 hours. To do what? To find out whether Pete Collins was murdered. But there was something puzzling me. I knew I held the key to the mystery, but I couldn't figure what it was. It was all very well to talk about 24 hours deadline, but how was I to use that 24 hours? I was out of my depth, and I knew it. My car took me to the home of John Bullivant. Maybe he'd throw me a lifeline.
What can I do for you, Mr. Stone?
Sorry to bother you, Mr. Bullivant, but it's important.
I'm just going out. Please be as brief as possible.
I will. Why is Lionel Schultz blackmailing you?
Schultz? Blackmail? What's the game, Stone?
That's what I want to know.
Now listen, Stone. I can be pushed so far and no further. Schultz swore he'd give nothing to the papers.
Did he now?
How much did he tell you? He's bled me dry already.
Now we're getting places.
I suppose you want your share. You're in on the racket. How much you asking not to publish?
Life's full of little surprises, Mr. Bullivant. I don't want to publish your guilty secret.
What do you want?
I want to save you from paying any more blackmail. And I want to put Schultz where he belongs.
And Sing Sing?
On the hot seat if he has his due.
You mean he's committed a murder?
Well, I have suspicion, but no proof.
Did he tell you about me?
Mr. Bullivant, I don't know anything at all about you beyond that he was blackmailing you.
You've got your nerve coming here and trying to bluff me. Get out.
Now, take it easy. I'm trying to help you.
I can look after myself.
I doubt it. Now, just listen to me. I don't care what dirty racket you've been mixed up in or what hold Schultz has over you. A decent young guy was murdered by Schultz, and he's got away with it. I want to make him convict himself.
A modern knight-errant, huh?
No, just a plain guy who believes in justice.
What do you want me to do?
Call up Schultz. Tell him you're through. Say the police are making inquiries about a murder charge concerning a young man called Pete Collins.
How will that help me?
Schultz will lose his nerve. He'll either clear out or try to beat the rap. Either way, you'll be free of him.
Maybe it's worth trying.
What have you got to lose?
Suppose he talks about my affairs.
Why should he? If he gets off, you're always good for a future touch.
He mustn't get off. I'll do it, Stone. I'll call him at his office tomorrow morning. If he talks himself into the death house, all the better.
Bullivant's motives weren't exactly altruistic, but they suited my purpose. I left him rubbing his hands and visualizing freedom from blackmail. So far, so good. But I felt it was high time I paid a visit to Pete's mother. I found her in her neat, spotlessly clean little apartment. She didn't seem in the least surprised to see me, and all of a sudden, I felt glad about what I was doing. Glad, and in some strange way, sort of proud.
I knew you'd come, Mr. Stone. Have you found out anything about my boy?
I found out a lot, Mrs. Collins.
It wasn't an accident, was it?
No. No, I don't think it was.
I'm not looking for revenge, Mr. Stone, but if they've killed once, they may kill again. Some other mother may suffer as I have.
I know just how you feel, Mrs. Collins. Mind if I smoke?
That's all right, Mr. Stone. The place is so quiet, so empty. I can't believe that he's never coming back. Those were his law books. He used to study here. He had such faith in his future. Now they've ended it all.
That's tough, but they'll get theirs all right.
That won't bring him back. But it may save someone else from this.
It sure will. Do you have an ashtray?
Oh, I'm afraid not. Pete never smoked.
He never smoked. Are you sure of that?
Never in his life. I think I told you.
He didn't smoke. Sure you told me that, Mrs. Collins. That's what's been on my mind all day, but I didn't know it. Look, I've got to go now, but you'll hear from me again very soon. He didn't smoke. And yet Schultz had gone to a lot of trouble to tell me about that last cigar he gave Pete Collins. Why? That's what I wanted to know. But I couldn't locate Lieutenant Blomberg that night. It was 10 o'clock next morning before I got him.
Hello, Randy. I think Doreen Lawson wants to see you, and she's not exactly friendly.
Never mind about her, Lieutenant. I want some action from you.
You've had some, Randy. I've been making a few inquiries.
Any results?
I think the boy was murdered. We can't make it stick.
Schultz told me he gave the kid a cigar just before he was killed.
So what?
That kid had never smoked in his life. Why did Schultz go out of his way to tell me that lie?
So, Pete Collins was a non-smoker. Maybe that's the answer.
Oh, quit playing Sherlock Holmes. What are you driving at?
There was a burn on the boy's hand and a cigar crushed underneath him.
One of Schultz's special cigars?
Could be. I'll have it checked. Schultz told our people the cigar story, too.
I get it. There was a struggle when he pushed the kid through the elevator door. The kid grabbed the cigar that Schultz was smoking.
Yeah. And Schultz told us the smoking story to cover the burn on the cigar.
Well, what are you waiting for? Make the arrest.
It's supposition, Randy. How will that evidence stand up against the clever defense counsel?
Hold your horses, Blomberg. I've taken certain action. I think Schultz will convict himself. He'll try to clear out. You better put a tail on him.
I'll do that, Randy. Maybe we'll make this stick after all.
I'll be at the office. Phone me if anything happens.
Okay.
It was a long wait, but I never moved from that phone. The call I was waiting for came a little after 9. Hello?
Randy?
That you, Lieutenant?
Yeah. I've got news for you.
Spill it.
Schultz beat us to it. Took off from LaGuardia this morning with the marshal dame.
So they got away.
Had his own private plane. Seems he left after he had a phone call from Boulevard.
Yeah, I thought that would happen. Can you pick them up?
They're already picked up. What's left of them.
What?
Maybe Schultz's nerves affected his skill as a pilot. I wouldn't know. Plane crashed at Champlain near the Canadian border this afternoon.
Both killed?
Instantly. I just got the news.
Oh, poetic justice.
What that?
I said poetic justice. They fell further than Pete Collins.
Maybe they did at that. Okay, Stone. That closes the case. As far as we're concerned, 2 people killed in a plane crash. Bye now.
I went at once to see Mrs. Collins. I told her what had happened. Told her that a mother's intuition was right. She cried again. And maybe there was a tear for the 2 who crashed as well as Pete Collins. I wouldn't know. Mothers are strange and wonderful people. Copy, boy.
Night Beat.
Night Beat, a dramatic series, stars Hart McGuire as Randy Stone and is a Grace Gibson radio production, directed by Lawrence H. Cecil. The part of Schultz was played by Nigel Lovell. Others in the cast were Babe Scott, Georgie Sterling, Wendy Playfair, Rupert Chance, Donald Crosby, and John Tate. Listen next week, same time, same station, when again you will hear Randy Stone in another action-packed story of Night Beat.